Welcome to the back end of this London doubleheader today on Fox. As this afternoon you will have Josh Rosen and the Arizona Cardinals go up against Dylan Murway and the Denver Broncos. Kickoff is next. Today, obviously, Arizona trying to find a way to stop their skid. Denver coming off their loss Sunday night against Green Bay. Looking to rebound today on the first game of their 3-game road trip, followed by a stop in Carolina and a stop in New England on Monday night. As we go live to State Farm Stadium, where the Cardinals and Broncos are walking through the tunnel now, as Larry Fitzgerald and the Arizona Cardinals get set to do battle today against Dylan Murway and the Denver Broncos. And speaking of the Broncos, they have won the toss. They will receive. Zane Gonzalez to kick off. Devontae Booker to return. Got a little skittish there. And that will be taken out to the 26-yard line on the return. No, they're not. As Dylan Murway will make his way onto the field right now.
Myself, if I say I saw him play as a redshirt freshman at Houston, called his bowl game that year. He's okay. It's your hip. You're young. All right, thanks.
As today we will start with Lindsey in the backfield, Jake Butt to the right. And Philip Lindsey is able to power through for a couple of yards and get the Denver first down, stopped by DJ Swearinger. Definitely stopped Patrick Peterson. Unfortunately, couldn't stop DJ Swearinger, who kind of flat ran him over. There is, after that play, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Across the middle, it's caught by Sanders for the first down again. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. As Murway drops back, throws, and it is almost caught right over the back of Swearinger, and it is a Denver Bronco touchdown for 35 yards out. And the Broncos take the early lead. Why they matched a quarterback on the tight end, I'll have no idea. Watch this. Swearinger jumps up. Boop, right into the hands of Jake Butt. A little bit of trickery there. I don't think anybody expected that.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning
73 yards, 3 plays. You definitely saw there the Cardinal defense has to really buckle down against the Broncos today. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a fun afternoon, and not in a good way. Side note, with how warm it is here in Arizona, I'm really surprised the Cardinals didn't opt for the white jerseys today because they're playing with the open stadium. They're instead of going for their alternate blacks that they wear, not their colorless jerseys. As we have a preview of Josh Rosen, who after he stunned everybody in week 1 by beating the Patriots, since then things haven't really been the best for him. As Josh Rosen and the Cardinals will start at the 25. And Bradley Chubb and Derek Wolfe just stuffed the run already for a loss of 1. 2nd down and 11 for the Cardinals. Wow. Nobody even picked up Bradley Chubb and Derek Wolfe. I don't think anybody picked up either of them.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
So 2nd down and 11 for the Cardinals.
On 2nd down, Rosen.
And that looks like Brandon Marshall was able to get the coverage on that play. As we take a look at the Cardinals offense, is Mr. Reliable, Larry Fitzgerald. Been in the league since 2004. Obviously the closest he's gotten to a ring in his storied career was that famous game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 43.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here.
Complete with Kurt Warner throwing the ball to him, still. He's always been in a very durable safety net. And that for the Cardinals, and with the addition of rookie quarterback Josh Rosen, hopefully that'll take the pressure off of him today. Right through the hands of Roby. So after that last play, it was incomplete. They're going for Christian Kirk.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away.
And somehow or another,
just inside the 20.
that really didn't end very well. Tried to throw for Christian Kirk, went over the back of Bradley Roby, right through Roby's hands for an easy pick. Yeah, especially with the road slate they have, the heat of Arizona, to the running game of Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton, to playing against Tom Brady on Monday night, it's going to be tough for the Broncos. As Philip Lindsay is out to the 3-3. As we're going to be highlighting Emmanuel Sanders himself this afternoon. Mr. Reliable of the Bronco offense. Murray is going to run. Oh, he trucked 2 people. Wow. Just blew through a Cardinal and got the 1st down. And Bradley Chubb's enjoying it. Look at that. Boom.
He takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Ladies and gentlemen, more evidence that the Cardinals need to hunker down on the defensive side. Otherwise, they're going to be in for plays like that from Dylan Murray today. Ran over the Cardinal right in front of him. And he got the first down out of it, too. Over, and it's caught by Sanders for the first down. So that is, he's already almost cracked 100 yards just passing, as Emmanuel Sanders has his second reception of the afternoon. Look at that, right over the back. They were expecting the run, but sometimes you gotta mix things up at the line of scrimmage. As you're gonna get big plays like that. Murray throws, and it is caught by Jake Butt, who ends up getting the first down. As that's a good play there. Murray throws, crosses body, and he drops it. Incomplete. As we look at the Cardinals defense with Chandler Jones as the defensive end, we'll be highlighting him this afternoon.
The line of scrimmage once again to 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Second and goal for the Broncos. Murray drops. Fakes everybody out with a touchdown. Another score for the Broncos. And that's in the opening quarter, no less. I have a feeling this keeps up. Cardinals are going to be in for a long day.
Let's see if you can continue this pace.
And sending out the reminder that, yeah, look, I'm known for having an arm, but I can do it with the legs on occasion when I need to.
Yep. And if you're against a quarterback, especially in this league today, you know, guys like Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes to a certain extent, and you can't cover for their speed, defenses are going to have a fun time against them. And it's been seen so far in the first quarter.
And it's now 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run.
So after that touchdown, let's see how the Cardinals can quickly respond before things get out of control.
Now McManus on to kick this one off.
Brandon McManus to kick, and right through the end zone for a touchback. As the Cardinals, who they've had a bit of a rough go so far on the defensive front. And in terms of offense, because Josh Rosen has not had a completion so far first quarter.
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they're going to stay with it. I don't think they're abandoning it just yet.
As David Johnson rushes for the first down, as he'll get stopped by Justin Simmons for his first tackle of the day.
Admit I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter.
Definitely needed that. Hopefully it'll kickstart the momentum there. As the Cardinals finally have a completion in this quarter for Williams, number 10. He was brought down by Will Parks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals. As David Johnson gets dropped for a loss of 3 this time. Derek Wolfe has found him.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out,
Probably should.
You're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Big time. Even though the Broncos defense doesn't have Wade Phillips in charge of plays, you still see the evidence. You can still see a little bit of his inspiration in terms of blitzes there. So today we'll be looking at the Broncos defense, obviously without Wade Phillips as the coordinator. Most of the pieces are there, have been there from Super Bowl 50, obviously with the loss of Aqib Talib out to the LA Rams. You do what you can. This defense still hits hard. 3rd and 9. Simmons hit as he throws, and it is picked off. Chris Harris on the stop. And he's going to return it right out to the 28-yard line. Looking up to that.
You are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
It looked to me like his receiver that he was going for was well behind the ball.
Right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Because, like he threw it right to Chris Harris.
But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
That is the first touchdown of the day. Interception for the Broncos. Underneath route, Jake Butt. And that will be complete for 9 on the play. And it looks like they're going to end the quarter with a 9-yard gain by Jake Butt. And as evidenced by how things have been so far in the first quarter, this could be a fun game for the Broncos, which they're playing against the Chiefs. Obviously, in terms of competition in the West, if Denver wins today, Arizona loses, or Kansas loses, obviously they're playing out in Arrowhead as we speak. And things aren't going so hot so far for them. I got Old Spice deodorant.
And then go on the ground. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield.
Yes.
Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
Royce Freeman is now in the backfield for the Broncos. Going to throw it to Royce. Going to try to power through for some yards and go right in the Cardinal territory. Vance Joseph obviously is pleased there. All the time out there after that little play mistake by Vance Joseph. back here at State Farm Stadium as we get ready for the restart of the game. Empty set for the Broncos. Murway, the only person in the backfield this time, throws right across his body for Deshaun Hamilton. And that'll be a gain of 5. Empty set. Sutton out wide. Sanders and... Oh, he gets hit on the run. Incomplete. 3rd and 4 on the play. Again, why am I calling fake spikes? Why do I keep calling it fake spike? Alrighty. We're 4th and 4. Let's troll. Brief update for our game over at CBS. The Packers just scored another touchdown.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards.
And they're going to go for it.
Offense out there. They're going for it. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
As they'll go right to Cortland Sutton for the first down. It works too. Murway runs. He's going to truck through. And he's clear for a huge gain. 19 yards on the run. And that will be a 1st and goal for the Broncos. Murway drops, throws, touchdown Broncos. Sanders with 7 yards out. It's his first receiving touchdown of the afternoon.
The timing between the passer and the receiver, in this case a slant route, ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. McManus now for the extra point.
As McManus will already have kicked 3 extra points, obviously enjoying some hazard. Enjoying the job right now so far. Hasn't really done a lot of kicking. And McManus will kick. Now let's attempt to see what the Cardinals will do in response. Cooper to receive and kneel it down. There's the Cardinals offense with they're behind. That's definite.
What you also have to guard against is calling.
It's been their game so far. 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. You still obviously have time, but you should probably try putting something together. Second down and 7 for the Denver Broncos.
I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
So second down and 7. Oh, Chubb, hard hit. And the Broncos pick up the fumble. Massive hit on David Johnson. Oh. Bradley Chubb with the huge hit.
Blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the pass, or sometimes just trying to take away every gap.
I think that killed David Johnson.
In a running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Bronco defense probably loves him right now. That was a huge hit there.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Throwing D, almost picked off. It was Patrick Peterson that was there on the coverage. Deshaun Hamilton was the intended receiver in the back of the end zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there. You need to be a little bit more careful.
Unfortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again,
Couple more, man. I mean, he's been getting lucky so far in this game. Throws and is batted away again. For the Broncos, 3rd and 10.
When you have 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead, you should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
As Murway's going to convert for... Oh, he's still up. He stumbled a little bit and ends up rushing for the first down.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up.
Came up. Oh, he got tripped. Watch this. Trips over Swearinger, the free safety.
Well, I fall on wanting to endear yourself to your teammates, but pick your spots. Be smart about it. They need you for the full season.
Yeah, the rookie's going to learn as he goes.
Yeah, he definitely was pushing along there. Murway, and off to Lindsey. Oh, wow. That's a hit. And they're going to still squeeze one out. And Lindsey will be brought down, gain of 4 to the 8-yard line.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside him at highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first.
Going to halftime with, all right, coming up at halftime today, it's a recap from the London game and the first half of today's game here between the Broncos and Cardinals, plus updates around the league from all the early games in the afternoon. Here with Howie, James Brown, Terry, Jimmy, and Chris Collinsworth. Murway throws right over between 2 players for the Broncos touchdown. 3 touchdown passes of the day, and they continue to add to their lead.
Touchdown passes.
Yeah, right.
He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure
right between two players. Watch this. Watch 17 Deshaun Hamilton, the white jersey. Comes in. Looks like he's about to run a slant. Or a little slant. There's 20 of the Cardinals. Buchanan. That's in quite the window. And you got another Cardinal. You got Dre Boston behind him. And Deshaun Hamilton. Looks like he's going to go in and strip. And that happened.
shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
McManus, you know what he does.
McManus is good, and a rout is on here this first half.
It's like the Jets game, but worse and more painful. This keeps up, they might actually have to put in Case Keenum because they're just destroying them. Look at all the destruction. They're embarrassing them, basically.
Now
McManus will kick, and he'll set it right up the pipe. And Cooper will kneel it for another touchback.
This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things.
Yeesh.
Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it.
Cardinals offense just needs to get something. They need to get anything going here with minute 57. You're down by 4 scores in your home state. Oh, big penalty. And it's on Shelby Harris. But considering how this game's been, probably won't matter in the long run. Especially with how ugly this game's been for Mr. Rosen. And Rosen throws way behind his receiver, incomplete. Nice play calling. I mean, whew. They're just destroying him. Look at that. Second down and 5 for the Broncos on defense. Duke Johnson to the right. He's going to get picked off again, this time by Brandon Marshall, who's going to take it all the way for 6. Touchdown, Denver. 31-yard return by the linebacker. And the Broncos continue to add to their lead.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out and start the third quarter. But if things don't improve past then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point.
3 turnovers. Josh Rosen's second pick of the game. Plus the forced fumble earlier by Bradley Chubb just coming out of nowhere.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And you think they could get 50 by the time this quarter's done?
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Cooper to return. This time he's going to run it and get a bit of a return out of it.
An extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out.
Josh Rosen's just getting pounded so far in terms of the game. He's just getting an NFL crash course, to say the least. 1st and 10 with 1:41 left. Screen pass. And a hard hit by David Johnson, as that'll be the first completion of the game, believe it or not. That actually works. And a big completion there. And look at this. There he goes. Right side, touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson wide open, and the Cardinals finally get onto the board. Momentum. I like the momentum. Do you? I do too. Dawson to kick. And that will be an extra point. Granted, they're still down by 5 touchdowns. Or 4. They're down by 4 touchdowns, but 4 is less than 5, which is a bonus. Now let's see if Phil Dawson will kick and Brett Langley to return. And Langley, there he goes. Had to get his feet and his bearings, and he's still powering forward into the 43. What a return. Look at this. Shot right through. There's Williams. Trying to bring him down. Pulls through. And then just steps out of bounds. Here's Emmanuel Sanders of the offense back on the field now. Having a couple touchdowns in his belts.
He's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate.
Under pressure as he throws, incomplete. They've, especially if you've been around the league, you've played with quarterbacks like Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. Defenses take notes.
And as he tried to do that, he was hit and forced an incompletion.
So second down, still 10 yards to go.
Defenses definitely do take notes. On the run, caught by Sutton, and that would be complete to the 20. And wow, Dylan Murway's had a very busy first half, and that is Emmanuel Sanders' second receiving touchdown of the game. The points continue to pile up.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterback second time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years?
Oh, seems like Vance Joseph should probably think about putting Case Keenum in at the start of the second half because, wow. Big couple more touchdowns and do it. Especially with how weak the Cardinal defense has been so far. With Denver getting 3 touchdowns.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown.
There. Points continue to pour on. And this is getting ugly, to put it lightly. McManus to kick. And Cooper to field it.
So out now come the Cardinals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trying.
And if you're the Cardinals, down by 6 touchdowns now, you need something to get into the game. Anything.
Something goes wrong, you may put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And that one is dropped yet again by David Johnson. Well, on the Cardinals sidelines moments ago, our cameras caught a little confrontation on the sidelines. Larry Fitzgerald obviously tried to be peacemaker and all that. So you can see a lot of frustration on the Cardinals sideline, and if I'm the coach, I would do something. Wide open, and Cardinals will call a timeout with 33 seconds left. And Rosen will throw to the ground. Whoa! Chad Williams and Bradley Roby were going at it there for a moment. If I'm the coach, I would just got to do something or anything to get the team in line, because sooner or later that frustration could turn into dirty plays, which could turn into a lot of fights. Rosen throws, and it's caught by Fitzgerald. First time he's been around all game. So the Cardinals are at the 43 of Denver, the Broncos. As he throws, and Roby has been all over the place today. If it's not Gresham, it's been Chad Williams, number 10. And Roby's been balling out a little bit today.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Second down and 4. This could be a final play. Throws, and Christian Kirk will complete it. And that will be halftime from a very ugly first half.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. It's been blowout city thus far, but
6 touchdowns, obviously, including that big pick 6 with Brandon Marshall. As we get ready for the third quarter, Cardinals hopefully will do something to get them in line. And wow! Derek Wolfe just threw a guy to the ground. As we take a look at the Cardinals, Josh Rosen will have the first drive, start the first drive of the game.
Actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there, but this is a really important drive.
As he's sacked, this time by Will Parks. Huge 9-yard loss on the play. Watch Rosen, black 3. Here comes Will Parks. The line's definitely been covered, obviously, with Bradley Chubb starting the first Cardinal drive with that with a sack, and obviously that hard hit on the fumble. You obviously wonder if Johnson's hit his bell rung a couple times today. And he's got it. Wide open down the sideline, 84 yards. And he just missed it on the blitz. And the Cardinals may or may not be back in this. Or will they?
Extra point try now for Dawson.
Phil Dawson to go for the extra point. It is good.
Dawson takes on the point after, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. The long touchdown pass gives him 6.
4 touchdowns on the play as Mager and Brandon Marshall are talking things over. Gonzalez to kick. Lengthier return. He had that big return late in the first half. He's going to power up to the 32.
So now look at the Broncos as they head back.
First down and 10 for the Broncos from the 32-yard line. And obviously, yeah. I already think fans are leaving now because
you and me trying to get to the airport. The road will be fairly clear. By the time I have to leave the booth.
Yeah.
They'll run it down out of the gun. 2 yards.
There's Lindsey finally powering through for a couple yards today with Chandler Jones there on the stop.
Despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from the lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
So there we go. Second down and 8. Rolling to the right, and it's caught by Sanders. Makes 2 guys miss, and a big gain there. 250 yards already for passing for the quarterback today. And Murway powers through for a few yards. Second down and 5. Or a good running game, at least. Murway hands off to Lindsey, cuts right up the middle, trying to look for something, as he's been pretty quiet on the ground today. Chandler Jones with the tackle. Lindsey powering through, and he will get the first down. Another 5-yard gain on the play.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
They're going to need to because, yikes. With the way this game's been,
Now a play fake here on first down.
Murway going to rush through and get the first down. Big contact, though, at the 3-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Big hit. Hit, though. First and goal from the 3.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here.
And Murway will get dropped for the first sack of the game.
Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. The drop and throw.
Fade, caught, touchdown. Nope, out of bounds. 3rd and goal.
Back-to-back great plays defensively. Get the sack on 1st and goal. Great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
Yikes.
Really good play callers look ahead and down a distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet and try to dial something up here.
On 3rd and
Lindsey moves through for a couple yards there. And
the offense stays out there. A big challenge here for this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
we're going to see what they do here.
Here's a play fake as they set up.
Throws, and it's incomplete. The Cardinals will get the ball right back.
Pass attempt, and the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. They're on the defensive side of the ball, though. Any quick down stop is a big
So, meanwhile, we take a look at the Cardinals' offense, and there's some spark, I guess.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line.
Question is, how much?
On 1st down, it's Rosen. And Gresham will take it and brings it in.
Gresham will bring it down for a 23-yard gain. So far, in terms of the big plays, Denver's had a rough go on, obviously, those 2 big touchdowns. But with the way the Broncos have played, I'd be fine with that. You'd like to have no big plays, but and Johnson finally gets some momentum. Gain of 7 on the play.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? How does the game be expected? But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice.
Nice.
He struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one good carry
So.
away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals. You saw Von Miller off the edge there. So 3rd quarter continues to tick down, and Von Miller comes in. He's been sort of quiet lately. Finally gets his first tackle of the day. 3rd and 13 for the Broncos. Sorry, for the Cardinals.
All I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is
Wow.
balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Definitely a force in everything, too, because I think he almost got a couple picks there as the 3rd quarter is ended. The Cardinals Stadium is a bit quieter than normal after a big, massive obliteration. And guess what they have up next for the Cardinals? At 2:30 in a couple weeks. 2:30 p.m. at Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on third down.
Yikes. I'm an defensive coordinator and I have to play against that. I'd be like, yikes. Throws and is caught by Fitzgerald as he gets the first down.
It's a game of 17, and it'll give him a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guys.
We talked about this earlier during the offensive started lineup, how the longevity of Larry Fitzgerald being around 15 years.
10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first.
When he was around, Jake Plummer moved to the Broncos. That's how far back he is.
Now Rosen.
Throws and Mager with the stop. Christian Kirk with a catch, and somehow the Cardinals have 300 yards out of all this.
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Able to get 7 on that first
Yeah.
down pass.
Don't prolong the suffering anymore. Prolong the suffering for the Cardinals. Why not do it? And is thrown. Wow. Tip drill. Brandon Marshall get involved in some things.
Low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage, you're losing the battle. Just jump over the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball.
3rd and 3.
That's exactly what happened there.
Johnson to the left. Bunch set. Throws incomplete.
I'm not sure if we can spot any tendency here on this third down. They could run it or
I'm not sure what you do for the Cardinals. Looks like they're going to go for it.
On to try to field goal now, Phil Dawson from the right hash. This
Right side of the field. And is almost blocked. Oh, flag on the play. Was it Mager? Yeah, it's Craig Mayer, one of the backup reserve corners. Just shot right in there.
But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So
15 yards. Wow.
Try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone.
Definitely a costly error there. I think Vance Joseph is going to have a conversation with Mr. Mager as Brandon Marshall comes in with a monster sack.
Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So we recount real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with a sack here. No doubt about it. He's having himself a game.
The entire defense is having themselves a good game. As Duke Johnson jukes out of bounds.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence.
Comes in.
In this performance.
Woof. Made Simmons whiff there. Hold close there.
They need just a yard.
They need a yard. Throws, and it's caught in the back of the end zone by number 84 for the Cardinal touchdown. Couple fans are walking back into the And, yeah. Hopefully this time don't be a mistake from Mr. Mayer. This time the kick will go right through. And that one.
So still lots of work left to do.
As the Cardinals are going to go for the onside, and the Broncos are going to get it.
The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
3 touchdowns.
I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Right. Murray drops, throws, caught by Jake Butt. Again. Taking it to the 16-yard line. Cardinal fans aren't happy. And Murray tucks it back in. He's going to run it, and another touchdown. That is touchdown number 7 on the day.
16-yard touchdown run, and the Broncos will extend their lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there.
Coming up after this on Fox, we'll take you back out onto the studio for the OT, which is a recap of all the day's action and a preview of tonight's game between the Texans and Cowboys, followed by your local news, Malcolm in the Middle, back-to-back episodes of that, followed by a all-new episode of Futurama and back-to-back episodes of The Simpsons and Family Guy, followed by your late local news. Coming up on Fox. And McManus will put the extra point into the air. You think they'd consider, I don't know.
The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone.
Swap out quarterbacks for the Broncos? Don't want to tire them out. I mean, you got that extra break before they go into playing the Panthers next week out at Bank of America.
McManus on to kick this one off.
McManus will kick it.
And
that will be sent right out of the end zone for a touchdown.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over
Now.
the tab and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rose into the Cardinals.
So first down and 10. And what is Gostis slams into Duke Johnson. And Duke Johnson is about to turn a nice screenplay. And even after getting horribly assaulted with 3 picks, both quarterbacks have thrown for 500-plus yards total. Big play there.
So
wow.
Changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30.
Rosen drops back, throws, incomplete. Second down and 10.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
And
line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second
the
and 10.
Cardinals will set up at the 31. And what has been a rather ugly game.
Second and 10 now. It's Rosen.
Rosen throws and connects with Rosen. They're down in 1.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn to either an incompletion or an interception. And not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
The Cardinals on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a third and
third and 1
situation. Again, it's Rosen.
And Fitzgerald with a touchdown. They're coming getting close to coming back into this. Close, but no cigar.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller. And every time their quickness and their speed is a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Dawson takes on the point after, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
They still have 3 scores for to make up, as suddenly this becomes a bit more manageable per se. St. Gonzalez kicks, and Deshaun Hamilton is going to recover it.
That's why you have your hands team out there on the field, and the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball into an outside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't
All
you?
about the numbers, baby.
The assault continues, to say the least. Both teams have almost thrown for 800 total yards between the two, and wow. Hard to believe that would have been a pick for their first pick of the game for the Cardinals, to say the least.
He's obviously getting smart, and his pride is kicked in. Made a terrific play.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
So, second down and 10 for the Broncos. As we still got 3 minutes left, by the way. In this absolute beatdown of the Cardinals.
Keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they hope the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Broncos on third down. They've been good.
3rd and 5.
Thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. He may try to run from
Murway's going to run it. He is going to run it. Break all the way through to the 3-yard line. You can add almost 120 yards rushing. It's like Mike Vick suddenly came out of retirement to play for the Broncos.
Scrambled and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
At the 3. Wow. Murway hands off to Lindsay and gets a yard as the clock will start running.
He didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Didn't get the first down either.
And or wait. Lindsey, touchdown. 8 touchdowns for the Broncos in this game.
And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Well, no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name. They should be
8
credited
touchdowns.
with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Let's see. What's the most points the Broncos have scored? Scored in a Bronco game. So let's look that up here. Check our stat sheet.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point.
We're going to kick. Speaking of high-scoring games where you're talking one-sided or whatever, yeah, obviously you have to kind of think back to 2013 when Peyton Manning was in charge, was leading the Broncos. 220 points within the first 6 games. I think this game and the Jets game could probably tie that right, get to that record. If not, tie it maybe.
Now McManus on to kick this one off.
McManus to kick. And
this will be a touchback.
That'll be a touchback.
Over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
Oh.
But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over.
Josh Rosen and the Cardinals will take over the 25-yard line, as has been the trend pretty much all day today. Rosen takes the snap, throws, and it is incomplete. 2-minute warning for the Broncos.
Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the
Cardinals come back out as you look at the points. Obviously, 28 points in the second quarter. That's definitely nothing to sneeze at. After starting with 14 and having issues Sunday night in Denver. Rosen, deep shot, picked off. 3 picks. Keeps running, and he'll run it out to the 45. That is Tremaine Brock Sr. that came up for the ball. Wow.
And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right.
The entire defense has been baiting him today. I mean, watch this. Makes the big guy miss, the lineman. And obviously didn't make the other guy miss in time. There's Tremaine Brock, jumps up.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic.
Forcing 4 turnovers on the Arizona Cardinals. Look at that. Even Royce Freeman probably. How much you want to bet Royce Freeman will score by the time this game's over? There's going to be another score by the time this game's over.
Huge differences we know between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throws, and it is caught by Sutton. And Dylan Murray is about to crack 300 yards here. 459 yards total on the day. He's going to throw. I think Dylan Murray was just going to pad stats as they continue to grind it out what has been a rather interesting game. And that's 9 touchdowns. 9.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grading widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake.
9 touchdowns in this game. That, in this, any of these round robin tournaments I've done, I think that's a record. And ironically, the Broncos actually set a similar record last year when they played the Rams week 4. And they met in the Super Bowl in that game, or that round robin. Wow, to say the least. Just wow. As wow, 9 touchdowns. Obviously, in that game, the Broncos scored 7 touchdowns. Obviously, they really kickstarted things with the Aqib Talib pick 6. And obviously, today, with the way this game's gone, we had a pick 6 by Brandon Marshall.
McManus on to kick this one off.
McManus will kick. Who's to say they're not going to get 10 touchdowns by the time this is over? Josh Rosen's already thrown 4 picks, 3 picks.
What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
Yikes. We got a... Josh Rosen's cracked 400 yards, so that's a bonus. So that's probably the only good thing out of this entire team is both quarterbacks have literally torn this field apart in terms of passing.
Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that was offensive line.
So, 408 yards for Josh Rosen, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks. Sorry, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks. Other way around.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tackle, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
Obviously down by 35. You give the Broncos credit for playing to the whistle there in this game. And it's going to be complete. And I'm really surprised the Cardinals aren't hurrying back to the line. And that looks to be it from Arizona. Today, as the Denver Broncos have set the record for most points scored so far all time in these Madden tournaments. Very shortly. Neither team has used any timeouts.
The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them.
As what a way to just flat out assault the Cardinals. At least they started to come back in the 4th. In what has been an absolutely destructive game. So, final score from Arizona. Let's see the post-game stats. Final score, Denver Broncos 63, Arizona Cardinals 28. Next week, the Denver Broncos are back on CBS. They will be playing against the Carolina Panthers at 5 o'clock Eastern. The Arizona Cardinals will be playing in the early game of the Week 7 doubleheader over on CBS against the Kansas City Chiefs. So their defense will get burnt, I think. Say if there's one thing that the Cardinals can take away, especially in terms of, obviously without the picks, that would be a stellar game. Throwing for 400 yards. And 4 touchdowns. I think that's quite a game. Just didn't work out for him. Final score, again, Broncos 63, Cardinals 28. Coming up tonight on Fox, after we take you out to the studio for the OT, we will have the local news, followed by Malcolm in the Middle, an all-new episode of Futurama, back-to-back episodes of The Simpsons, and Family Guy, followed by your late local news. We'll see you in a couple weeks.